today's session, you will get the clarity how to plan your career, how to set goals, or how to set short-term and long-term goals. So, and our guest speaker is Sir Ayaz Khan. He is an assistant professor at Northwestern University, and he has over 25 years of experience of mentoring students, and he has a lot of extensive experience in this field. So please feel free to ask your questions, queries, and anything related to your career or
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, I'm working from home today, so that's why it's easy for me to give this presentation. It's in the morning time here, and just wanted to turn on my video just for a while so you can see how I look, just in case if you guys wondering. And this is how I look without makeup in the morning. Okay, so when I go to work, I'm different. Just for on the lighter note. Today's session is going to be interactive. So if you have questions and you do leave a text message, I'm going to be more than happy to take a quick look and maybe answer right away, or maybe just, as we go along, I may accordingly, cater it accordingly so you guys can get the answers. And thanks for the kind introduction. I have a lot of experience, good 25 plus years, and I will give as much information as possible. But understand, within this time frame, you're not going to get everything out of it. So just grasp as much as information as possible. The main focus of the talk is just to give you guys a food of thoughts so you guys can do a good job for your career, especially at early stage, and also have some proper planning. Okay, so just for ease and everything, let's see. I'm gonna turn on the video so you guys can focus more on the presentation than me. That's there. Hold on. Why can't I do this? Hold on. There you go. Okay, perfect. So in my presentation, you're not going to see any text. I do not like text for some reason. Okay, and reason is every time you see any text, you start reading it. Okay, so over the years, this is my style. I'm from medical imaging, so I like to show pictures, images. That takes your attention and also gives you a good perspective of different things. Okay, so the picture that you see, or the image you see on the screen, the one that you see, the first one is, both of them MRI images deep inside your tissue or your skin. Everybody looks like this in the image, in the MRI, very detailed structure and everything. And this image, if you look at it, you might just see, it's a scary image, but again, it just gets your attention. It was not just generated overnight, or it didn't happen that somebody came with an idea and one particular expert or a scientist created it. Okay, if you see, the whole logic behind it is all about hydrogen ions in your body. Okay, so MRI is based off how hydrogen ions, which is mostly water in your body, they behave. Okay, so you see all these different spins, a small circle that represent a magnet, a small magnet. The red is, of course, North Pole, the white is South Pole, and they are spinning just like a top. Lattu ki tarah spin kar rahe hain, okay, in different orientation. From here, the whole MRI concept came in. How do you put a person inside the MRI? How do you align them? And you take pictures, okay? And eventually, the way images are generated, so just forget about the image on the right, the brain image. Focus on this data. This is how an MRI image looks like when you acquire it. This looks like a space, some galaxy, okay? In the center, you see white bright dot, and then all around it, millions and billions of stars or planets and whatnot. Okay, this is how the image looks, and eventually it turns into this. So can you imagine how this whole concept evolved? MRI came in existence in 70s. The research started early, but 70s was the first time when a couple of scientists, one in America and one in the UK, they came up with how to reconstruct images. And then the MRI in modality came in 80s. Okay, and eventually both scientists earned the Nobel Prize in 2002-ish, 20 years or so after when they came up with this idea. So what I'm trying to say is, this image, this modality come into an existence over the period of decades, where scientists from physics, chemistry, computer science, mathematics, and processor, so many people were involved to get to this point. Okay, which means what? You have heard this many times. Rome was not built in one day or overnight. And as a Muslim, you also believe when Allah created the world, He didn't just create it in one day. He took His time. And if He wanted, He could have done it. But He showed us as a human being, there is always a way to approach anything in your life. Okay. So if you want to do anything in your life, okay, by the way, I'm going to show some more pictures just to make you feel like that, how science evolved, and if you look at it, this is how your life should be. जो चीज़ आपके इर्द गिर्द होती हैं, आपने उनसे सीखना पड़ता है, ठीक है? और उस सीखने का मकसद ये नहीं होता कि आप एक और डिग्री लें, एक और कोर्स लें, या एक और feather आपके head में आए कि okay, now this one particular course work. Yes, you have, but what's the point of it? Okay, so let me run this animation again. If we do this data acquisition, at this time, if I stop, I see a brain image, which is as good as if I acquire the whole data set. Okay. If I translate this, let me run it again. I'm acquiring some data. Instead of acquiring the whole page or the whole this one section, half of it gives me as good of an image as it would give if I acquire the whole. In other words, when do you stop acquiring skills and start using them in your life? Okay. These things go on and on. Since I'm from biomedical engineering, so I like to show these images. I like to inspire people for different careers. They might be looking into it. Okay. It's all about biomedical engineering. But believe me, it is not just about biomedical engineering. This MRI of heart, which you can see real time, the blood is pumping this blood. So this is dark cloud that you see. Blood is pumping. The heart is pumping the blood from one section to the other. And all this happens based on the knowledge from electrical engineering, mechanical, electronics, computer science, post-processing, biomedical engineering, physicians, scientists, and you name it. Okay. Again, all these skills together are generating this one image to basically benefit who? The population. Okay. And again, just one more image, just to show you that how quickly we can acquire images, we can generate brain images. The same way that we are building these images, okay, or trying to make some sense out of it, the same way as a human being, this is our nature, this is how we are built to basically build our life based on, by the way, so let me just quickly, some narrative, some metaphors, and then I will get into the discussion of the whole career counseling and whatnot. This movie came out, I don't know, like 20 years ago. I saw it once, and sometimes, it just clicked. It is, again, movies are, they're futuristic. Sometimes there's just an idea, unrealistic as well, too. Not really just futuristic. And what in this movie, they showed that Nicolas Cage, he could see what is happening in the next 10, 15 seconds, and he go back, and then basically he changes the whole course of history. That's not going to happen, okay? This is not reality. If this is how it was, can you believe everybody's doing it? And there'll be no real, life experiences. Everybody would just live in a Zootopia where they are doing exactly what they want to do it, and they don't want to have any kind of hardship, any comfort zone that they want to get out of it. And that's where the biggest challenge of everybody's life is. I'm going to spend a lot of time in this and the next couple of slides, and this is the main purpose of this presentation. How do you choose a career? Okay, and how do you, what makes it the right decision in your life? If you see this picture, I just, again, got this slide from somewhere just to see how anybody would be thinking about all these different areas and then think that the one that they really want to do it is the one they should choose. Okay. I am a scientist. Okay. I work as in a children's hospital. And then I'm also faculty in a medical school. I am 47-year-old now, and I started my journey at the age of 23, okay, a PhD and whatnot. If I, as a 47-year-old, have met my younger version 25 years ago, believe me, I would have never continued or pursued PhD. My suggestion at this age to my younger version would have been, you are not built for PhD. And that would have been a very honest, a clear answer to myself. Okay. Why do I say that? When I started it, I started PhD because it sounded very cool. Research, everybody just, it's fascinating. It's a wow moment. And this is what I did. I just followed the herd. I just followed the norm. PhD karni hai, PhD karni hai. And then I got into it because it was a funded position. Okay. And then one time I realized I was not built for it, but it was too late. And that's where I start thinking, how can I make the most out of it? And then when I finished my PhD, it took 6 years after undergrad. And yes, you can do PhD after undergrad in the USA. For the next 5 years, I did 2 different fellowships just to build further career, further expertise, so I can become something or someone who can be beneficial to the society and also something make out of it. And it took me a longer route. That's why I do this mentorship. So I started my, I mentorship. जब मैंने शुरू किया था, तो मैं mostly I would just talk about higher education. I would, basically help people as a guide, teach them how to write good, strong applications. I would never talk about career counseling. CV कैसे बनाते हैं, letter कैसे लिखते हैं, how to approach a professor, how to find a good program, what is of your interest, how to search different universities, programs, and whatnot. Okay. And then later on, at what stage I did realize, okay, yes, I am doing what I should be doing it in terms of career and also as a mentor. But how do you know you're on the right path? Because what if I'm guiding someone just like I did? Okay, I jumped I jumped on the wagon to become a PhD, and I was not even sure what I would do after PhD. Okay, so whatever you do, you cannot just assume that आपने degree खत्म की, आप एक और masters, आप higher education करेंगे, and then you will find a job. See, this was a good ideal, well, not ideal, but a norm of society in 70s, 80s, because industrialization शुरू हुई थी last century में, और फिर ज़्यादा आपको experts चाहिए थे. That is not true anymore. This cartoon that you see with a gentleman that's singing all about all these different areas, you're not alone. Students, children or adults, everybody, even the USA, goes through the same phase. You will never be stop learning or acquiring knowledge and getting mentorship. Again, I, at this stage, also need mentorship. And I go to my confidants, the friends that I trust, the one I share my future plan with. I always ask them, okay, this is my plan. Is it a right one? Is it a good one? The people I report to, ठीक है, 4 साल पहले मैंने job change की थी. And literally, this is what I told she's the chair of the department, a very well-known radiologist. And I sat down with her and I asked her, what do you have for me that will keep me at this job for the next 20 years? Okay. And she did not have any answer. So that was a very clear indication. I'm not going to stay at that job for too long, because you cannot just sit down and think, okay, money is coming, and you're just coming in the morning, leaving it up in the afternoon. And yes, it is, but it gets boring, number one. And then what kind of um, you know plan you would have for the next 5, 10, 15 years. So I was 45-year-old back then, okay, 3, 4 years ago. And if I want to retire at the age of 65 for 2 decades, what would I do? Okay, so you have to constantly always think, what is next for him? What is the next 5 years, next 20 years, next 15, 20 years? And you have to build accordingly. You have to plan accordingly. अब देखें इस slides को देखें. Yeah, from business to technology to fashion to medicine to finances, animation, IT. In IT now you can say so many other different areas. For instance, cyber security, AI, so much. How do you choose? You cannot just say IT. Okay, you cannot just say technology. You have to now think even more. And with so many ease, with so many technology, life is becoming very stressful, very difficult to decide. Very easy answer. In this era, आप किसी एक फील्ड में मास्टरी करके या मास्टरिंग एक्वायर करके सरवाइव नहीं कर सकते. I'll be very honest to you. 20 साल पहले, if you knew how to use MS Word, PowerPoint, MS Office, Excel sheet, it was a skill you would put on a CV. Now, if you put on your CV, that's basically is required. So there is no skill anymore. It's a requirement going forward, okay? AI came in the last 5, 10 years. In next 10 years, if you're a doctor, and you should better know how AI works, okay? So, and understand, when you acquire knowledge, what is the knowledge is for? To get familiar with what is happening around you, okay? That's number one. So you cannot just master in one area and then completely forget about the rest. There was a very good email. So, we do publish research paper, and sometimes some of the editors from journals, they write an email to the whole community. And one time this one very well-known researcher, he sent out an email and he said that his mentor 30, 40 years ago told him that, and then I'm going to repeat in English and Urdu both, okay, whatever you do, at least learn something new every week outside your area of expertise. So basically, he said, you are in radiology, in medical imaging, learn something new, some new information from different areas every week, something new, some new topic, okay? So if you are in medical medicine, learn something in finances, whatever it is, something new, which means what? Diversify your knowledge. Okay, it's very important. You cannot just study, if you're a chemical engineer, just chemical. No, learn something new. IT, you can acquire some other expertise, something that you can benefit from. Or even if you don't, at least you would have the idea of it. I don't use AI, but I know how the AI is, how AI works, and that is more than enough. Because if somebody's presenting, I'm not going to just sit and not understand what they're trying to say. With this topic, with this whole discussion, what I'm trying to tell you, please do not limit yourself to just one thing. That's number one. Point number one. Point number two, if you are, let's say, an AI expert, again, I'm just giving an example. You can get same example differently too. And you work in finances, यानी आप build करते हैं prediction model for financial institution, ठीक है, housing or whatever services they provide. अब आपका काम ये कि आप AI के थ्रू उनके मॉडल प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं, उनको बताते हैं कि बिजनेस मॉडल क्या होगा, ठीक है, और आप ये काम 10 साल से कर रहे हैं. क्या 10 साल बाद आप अपनी फील्ड चेंज कर सकते हैं? फील्ड इन द सेंस कि आप फाइनेंस से मेडिसिन में जाएं, या मार्केटिंग में जाएं, या फिर आप फैशन में जाएं, या बिजनेस में जाएं. What is the answer? The answer is very easy. Yes, you can. Understand, you have skills. वो स्किल्स आपने यूज की हैं फाइनेंस इंस्टीट्यूशन में, क्या उसको मेडिसिन में कर सकते हैं? The answer is yes. You are an AI expert. You're not a financial expert. ठीक है? You just learn how the finances works and then you build those models for them. Same thing in medicine. आप आए, medicine में आप आए, you will be trained. You will learn 5, 6, 8 months, a year before you start building those models. Your basic skill sets are the same. AI. Now using in a different area. That's number one. That's point number two. Sorry. So the first one was, diversify your skills. और diversification में एक चीज मैं आपको और बताऊं. अगर आपने अंडरग्रेड किया है केमिस्ट्री में और आप मास्टर्स पढ़ना चाह रहे हैं, तो खुदारा वही चीज़ कंटिन्यू ना करें जो आपने पहले से पढ़ी हुई हो। लेकिन लोग करते ही क्या है, मुझे ये क्योंकि आता है इसलिए मैं पढ़ रही हूँ या पढ़ रहा हूँ, तो फिर आगे डिग्री हासिल करने की ज़रूरत क्या है अगर आपने वही चीज़ पढ़नी है जो आपको पहले से आती हो। ठीक है, यू ऑलवेज डाइवर्सिफाई इवन योर एजुकेशन। अगर आपने अंडरग्रेड किया है केमिस्ट्री में, मे बी आप फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री में करें फिर मास्टर्स, तो आपने पीएचडी करनी है, आप स्पेस साइंस में या स्पेस केमिस्ट्री में करें, स्पेस आउटर स्पेस, और फिर आप पोस्ट डॉक करें किसी और चीज में। उससे होगा क्या, आपकी सारी स्किल्स डाइवर्सिफाई हो रही हैं और आपके रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस डाइवर्सिफाई हो रहा है। व्हेन यू गो समवेयर you will have a knowledge of so many things, and then you as a scientist or as a researcher, you will bring that experience there. Same thing goes in what do you call it, in any other areas. So let's say if you are an IT person, ठीक है, और आपने काम किया है let's say telecom के अंदर. Now you are very good in telecom, building these networks. But now imagine अगर नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है and you want to build, you want to acquire some experience there, what do you need to do? You're not going to just continue working in that area, and you have to acquire some experience. You have to acquire some kind of a further experience. Always diversify. Look what is happening around you. 10 साल पहले AI नहीं था, अब 10 साल बाद कितना आसान हो गया है चीजें करना। आप एक ईमेल लिखना चाहें, आप 2 लाइनें लिखें, AI को दें, and AI will literally just make a nice layout of a report or an email, and which is fine, आप बिल्कुल यूज कर सकते हैं as long as आप अपने असाइनमेंट ना बनाएं AI से, ठीक है। But if you are writing an email, a report, and especially whatever I am presenting right now to you, I don't have to build it myself. मैं आराम से एक अच्छी इंस्ट्रक्शन दूं चैटबॉट को और कहूं कि make a nice presentation for me on a career counseling. It will. My job is to edit it and then present it the way it should be presented. Okay, so use the technology. Okay, acquire knowledge, make your life easy, but make sure whatever you do makes some sense. आप एक डगर पे ना चलें, भेड़ चाल ना करें. Okay, don't just follow the whole herd. Don't stand out in the crowd. और stand out कब करेंगे, जब आप सोचें आप एक काम क्यों करना चाह रहे हैं. ठीक है, आपको एक और बात जहन में याद रखनी होगी, आप जो अंडरग्रेड डिग्री कर रहे हैं या कर चुके हैं, it does not make you an expert in your area, period. Okay, आपने अंडरग्रेड की डिग्री की कंप्यूटर साइंस में, okay, that computer science degree just gives you a basic knowledge of your area. But keep in one thing in mind, this education or training is based on your degree. That does not mean you should limit yourself to just that one area of studies. Okay? अगर आप समझते हैं कि आपने अंडरग्रेड किया है मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में, ठीक है, और फिर आपका, क्योंकि देखिए ये सब चीजें मैं आपको जो दिखा रहा हूँ, all these different technology, different areas, this is the new era that you see. In 90s जब मैं बड़ा हो रहा था, when I was, I finished my high school in 1996. high school means college, ठीक है, कि मैंने मैट्रिक किया 1994 में। उस जमाने में माँ बाप कहते थे अच्छा तुम डॉक्टर बनोगे, तुम इंजीनियर बनोगे, that's how things were, which is fine, they already chose it for me, ठीक है। But with all this new development, with so many different overlapping areas right now, you have to do due diligence. There is nothing wrong अगर आपने माँ बाप की बात मानी और आपने let's say आपने मेडिसिन पढ़ लिया, अब आपको एहसास हो रहा है कि नहीं, you should have been a mechanical engineer, ठीक है, या अगर आप मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर now you think like you should be in business. आपको डिग्री जो मिली है इससे आपको आगाही आई है, you learn about the basic of one particular knowledge, but you got some maturity as a person. फिर आपको शऊर आया है. शऊर मीन्स आपको एक सेंस आई, ये चीजें कैसे काम करती हैं, आप कैसे नॉलेज एक्वायर करते हैं. आजकल के दौर में इतनी ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन, वीडियोस, लेक्चर्स ऑनलाइन मौजूद हैं, आपके पास कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है. सो लेट्स से मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर आप बने और आपको एकदम एहसास हुआ कि आप बिजनेस में बहुत अच्छे हैं, या मार्केटिंग में बहुत अच्छे हैं, या मैनेजमेंट बहुत अच्छे हैं. कैन यू चेंज? What is the answer? Very simple. Yes. I know a lot of people who came to America to pursue PhD in different fields, far different fields than what their undergrad were in. ठीक है? One of my students went from chemical engineering to finances. ठीक है. Some people came from medicine to PhD in different areas. ठीक है. All this is possible. Why? Because they know who they are, and believe me, this is exactly what you need to know. This is life cycle. ठीक है. Again, very simplified. अगर आप ये देखें, 1, 2, 3, it's all about you, knowing yourself. If you know who you are, you will get what you want. 2 section, 3 section. Know your values, know yourself, who you are. आप किस चीज में अच्छे हैं, आपको क्या करना में मजा आता है, जो आपको गूस बम दे, जो आपको एक एक्साइटमेंट दे, मजा आए आपको जिसको करते हुए या जिसके बारे में सोचते हुए. ठीक है. अपने आप को पहचानना. ठीक है. कि आपकी ट्रेड्स क्या है. देखिए, हर इंसान डिफरेंट है. ठीक है. वी हैव 4 किड्स. हमारे 4 बच्चे हैं, चारों डिफरेंट वो इंसान हैं. आप उनको जो भी परवरिश दें, दे ऑल गोना हैव अ डिफरेंट पर्सनालिटी, डिफरेंट एक्सपर्टीज, डिफरेंट वे ऑफ लिविंग. ठीक है. और वैल्यूज. वी डोंट एम्फसाइज बट वी नो एवरीबडी हैज स्किल्स. आप बोलेंगे मेरे पास कोई स्किल्स नहीं है. आई हेयर दिस ऑल द टाइम. जब भी कोई मेंटरशिप सेशन किसी स्टूडेंट के साथ 1-to-1 करता हूँ. ठीक है. यू डू. हाउ डू यू नो? आस्क योर मॉम. आपकी अम्मी को पता होगा सबसे ज्यादा. वो आपको पता है वो कैसे आपको पता बताएंगी. शी नॉट गोना टेल यू व्हाट एग्जैक्टली यू आर गुड एट. वो बोलेंगी तुम ये काम अच्छा करते हो एग्जांपल के थ्रू. अगर आप सिबलिंग्स हैं, 2-3 सिबलिंग्स हैं आपके, आपकी अम्मी एक काम आपको देंगी, लेकिन दूसरा काम आपके दूसरे भाई बहनों को नहीं देंगी. जो काम उनको देंगी वो आपको नहीं देंगी. दैट्स हाउ शी नोज कि तुम किस काम में आप अच्छे हैं, किस में नहीं अच्छे. ठीक है. आस्क योर कॉन्फिडेंस. ठीक है. समटाइम दे विल टेल यू यू आर अ गुड मैनेजर, यू आर अ गुड प्लानर, यू आर अ गुड executor, or you are a good people person. ठीक है. Everybody has their traits. Find those. ठीक है. And accordingly, once you identify, look at those skills. When you know your values, you know about yourself, you know your skills. ठीक है. You identify them, you polish them. फिर आप नेक्स्ट करेंगे क्या, कौन सा करियर लेना है, रिसर्च में लेना है, कौन से ऑप्शंस हैं, कौन सा करियर आपने चूज करना है, एंड देन आप उसको कैसे लिंक करेंगे अपने मेजर के साथ. सो एक काम ये है, लेट्स से यू वांट टू बिकम अ रिसर्चर, यू वांट टू बिकम अ टीचर, यू वांट टू बिकम एंटरप्रेन्योर. ओके. फॉर एंटरप्रेन्योर यू डोंट हैव टू बी अ पीएचडी. यस. कैन पीएचडी बी एंटरप्रेन्योर? यस. बट कैन अ नॉन एजुकेटेड, अ इलिटरेट पर्सन बी एंटरप्रेन्योर? द आंसर इज यस. Look around you. You will find people who have no education and they have businesses. ठीक है. Now the next question comes in. What is success? आप जब भी देखेंगे कोई बिलियनर को लोगेंगे, देखो वो कॉलेज ड्रॉप आउट हुआ, नाउ ही इज अ बिलियनर. Such and such is a trillionaire. Yes, they are. But what is the definition of success? Become a billionaire? Question mark. ठीक है. I leave that to you. No. In my personal opinion, what is success? Success is every day whatever you do, you love doing it. जिसमें आप अपना दिलो दिमाग लगाएं. ठीक है. देखिए, I do mentorship for the past 25+ years. I don't get paid. मैं पाकिस्तान में यूनिवर्सिटी में मैंने लेक्चर दिए हैं. बिलीव मी, अगर मुझे कराची से लाहौर ट्रेवल करना होता है, मैं अपना खुद फ्लाइट लेता हूँ, मैं खुद अपने होटल ले जाता हूँ. आई गो देयर. इफ दे गिव मी a cup of tea, I take it. If they provide me lunch, I don't mind. But I do not get paid. Why? Because I want to do it as a service to the society. ठीक है. And I don't want to get paid for it. This is how I get satisfied. ये मेरी satisfaction है. I have a job, I get paid from that, and I do very well. But then this is how I want to help the society. Find your calling. ठीक है. Think about it. छोटी छोटी चीजें. एक होता है मंजिल, एक होती है मकसद. मकसद क्या है? ठीक है. कि आप रोजाना वही काम करें जो आपको करने में मजा आता है. मंजिल आप एक दिन में नहीं हासिल कर सकते. मंजिल के लिए आपको प्लानिंग करनी होती है 10 साल, 20 साल, 30 साल. ठीक है. अगर आप प्रोफेसर बनना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए आपको 15-20 सालों का एक प्लान बनाना होगा. लेकिन अगर आप टीचिंग कर रहे हैं तो टीच आप रोजाना कर सकते हैं. एक छोटे से बच्चे को, ठीक है, अपने क्लास फेलो को, ठीक है, इस तरह का लेक्चर देके. इट इज व्हाट, दिस इज मकसद, दिस इज द पर्पस. बट व्हाट इज द गोल? मंजिल वो आपको 15-20 साल बाद मिलेगी. ठीक है. सो प्लान अकॉर्डिंगली. ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू गिव यू इज, इट इज जस्ट टू गिव यू फूड ऑफ थॉट्स. ठीक है. नाउ कम बैक टू दिस वन स्लाइड एंड थिंक अबाउट इट. आप किस चीज में अच्छे हैं, मतलब अच्छे से मतलब आपको कौन सी चीज आपके स्किल्स हैं आप में. ठीक है. उसको फाइंड आउट करें. प्लीज टेक योर टाइम. 1 महीना, 2 महीना, 5-6 महीने. डू नॉट रश. आप जो भी करियर आज चूज करेंगे, ठीक है, कल परसों जब उसको आप हासिल कर लेंगे, उसके बाद सारी उम्र आपने वो करना है ना। क्या आपके पास चांस होता है कि आप चेंज करें? यस, मैंने आपको पहले ही कहा था, आप फील्ड भी चेंज कर सकते हैं, अपना करियर चेंज कर सकते हैं, स्किल को फ्रॉम एक जगह से कहीं और यूज कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं। लेकिन एक्सपेरिमेंट करने की जरूरत नहीं है अगर आप प्रॉपर प्लान करें। हाँ, प्रॉपर प्लानिंग नहीं की, एक्सपेरिमेंट कर लिया, एंड देन यू आर इन अ प्लेस वेयर यू वांट टू चेंज, डेफिनेटली यू कैन चेंज। ऑलवेज रिमेंबर वन थिंग, अगेन मेरे पास इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आता मैं क्या बताऊं क्या ना बताऊं, तो जो चीज मेरे दिमाग में आ रही होती है आई ट्राई टू शेयर। जो लोग अपना करियर बदलते हैं या अपनी एजुकेशन पाथ बदलते हैं, व्हाट डज इट शो यू? ठीक है, पाकिस्तान में आप पूछेंगे, लोग कहेंगे सठी आ गया है, या समझ में नहीं आ रहा उसको, या कंफ्यूज है। ठीक है, लेकिन आप मेरे जहां मैं हूं इस वक्त आप मुझसे पूछेंगे, टू मी इट इज अ साइन ऑफ अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पर्सनैलिटी। It means you rediscovered yourself, you found out who you are, what your values are, and what your skill sets are. And now you are changing it to the right field to achieve your goals, your purpose of your life, and then be a successful person. Again, success क्या है? तरक्की, जो कामयाबी क्या है? कामयाबी उसे कहते हैं जो चीज आप हासिल करना चाहते हैं। अगर अभी कामयाबी कि आपके पास बहुत ज्यादा पैसा हो, that is your कामयाबी. But if you want to be somebody who wants to make a difference in a society, in a field, that is your success. Money will come along with it. If you put heart and mind, believe me, money will come along with it. ठीक है, इस बात पे मत परेशान हुई कि पूरी दुनिया क्या कर रही है। देखिए पाकिस्तान में इट्स अ जनरल कॉन्सेप्ट, इट्स अ पीयर प्रेशर। आपको ये कहा जाता है खाला के बेटे ने ये कर लिया, तुम नालायक, तुमने कुछ नहीं किया। फुप्पी की बेटी ने ये कर लिया, तुम कुछ नहीं कर रही। ठीक है, उसको देखो से कंपैरिजन। ठीक है, विच ऑफ कोर्स इज एक कल्चरल चीज है, नहीं करनी चाहिए, लेकिन वो आपको बेसिकली दे आर नॉट इंसल्टिंग यू, दे आर ट्राइंग टू टेल यू के डू समथिंग। ठीक है, बट व्हाट दे ट्राइंग टू से इज मेक समथिंग आउट ऑफ योर लाइफ। बट देन the question is, somebody has to give you some kind of a path. ठीक है, what struggle I went through, I don't want you guys to go through, but then on the other hand I want you guys to go through it. क्योंकि आप, मैं नहीं चाहूंगा आपको स्पून फीड किया जाए, आपको पकाया हलवा मिले। You should struggle through it. ठीक है, to achieve your goals, जो आपकी जिंदगी का जो हासिल वो कैसे करेंगे? स्ट्रगल के थ्रू, ताकि आपको ठोकरें पड़े। देखें, ठोकर खाने से अकल आती है, बादाम खाने से सिर्फ नहीं आती। ठीक है, आपको ठोकरें पड़ेंगी, आपको धोखे पड़ेंगे, तब आपको अगर आएगी और तब आपको पता चलेगी कि अच्छा जिंदगी में करना क्या है। ठीक है, सो बी वेरी माइंडफुल ऑफ व्हाट यू चूज एंड हाउ यू वांट टू अचीव इट। ठीक है, नाउ अगेन फॉर द करियर प्लानिंग, आप whatever undergrad you are right now in, आपने चूज किया था या आपके ऊपर मुसल्लत किया गया था माँ बाप की तरफ से या सोसाइटी की तरफ से? क्योंकि आपको मेडिकल स्कूल में दाखिला नहीं मिला तो आपने बायोकेमिस्ट्री में ले लिया, या आपको कंप्यूटर साइंस में नहीं मिला तो आप आ गए किसी और फील्ड में। दैट्स फाइन। ठीक है, मेक द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ इट, स्टडी, गेट गुड ग्रेड्स। ठीक है, लर्न, एक्वायर स्किल्स, मास्टर सम ऑफ दी स्किल्स। आप हर चीज में देखें, undergrad degrees do not make you scientist. Always remember, do not write papers, do not write research proposals. You are not built for that after as an undergrad student. उसके लिए आपको PhD करनी पड़ेगी. Somebody has to mentor you. ठीक है, so don't waste your time there. Waste your time. Put your time, literally waste it, but do it. Think about it. What makes you excited? आपको what is that one thing when you think about it gives you goosebump? It gives you excitement, it gives you the chill in your body. Okay, if it's a teacher, if it's as an entrepreneur, whatever it is, think about it and then plan it. अगर आप entrepreneur बनना चाहते हैं, start talking to people. दुकानदार से जिसको आपने देखा कि अनपढ़ होते हुए बावजूद he built his business because he or she had the guts. ठीक है, they don't have to be educated, highly qualified people. Just ask them. Sometimes these people give you very good thing. मैं इस तरह से अपॉर्चुनिटी फाइंड करता हूँ। I know so many people in America जो दुनिया के मुख्तलिफ कोनों से हैं, अनपढ़, they're illiterate, but they are billionaires, they are millionaires. ठीक है, they have business ideas, and when you discuss with them, it blows your mind that how many opportunities they see all around them. This is what I want you to be. ठीक है, if you are a teacher, if you are a person who goes 9 to 5, even within a job, how do you become a successful team member is important. एक और चीज मैं आपको बताऊं, with all this career planning, since we are talking about the family and everything, लोग भागते हैं फैमिली पॉलिटिक्स से। ठीक है, आज आप फैमिली पॉलिटिक्स से भाग रहे हैं, कल आप जो जॉब पे जो पॉलिटिक्स होती है, वर्क प्लेस पॉलिटिक्स, उससे भागेंगे, एंड यू विल बी अ बाय स्टैंडर्ड, मीनिंग हर कुछ हो रहा है, आप साइड पे खड़े होकर देख रहे हैं, एंड इवेंचुअली यू विल फाइंड आउट you are the one on the losing end. Yes, office politics are everywhere. No matter where you go, you cannot stay away from it. If you try to stay away from it, you will never be able to move forward. Okay, so learn, get involved in the family politics. Take this as advice, as a very practical advice. And whatever you learn there, you can apply there in work-related politics. You don't have to kill people. I mean, I should have said this word, meaning you don't have to step on people, but you should know how to navigate through it. Okay, I will leave that one suggestion on the side. Think about it, because this is not the topic to discuss that, but I wanted you to give another advice that, in your life, if you want to move forward, go forward. It's not the skill that you study, technical skills. The personality is your professional development, and personal development is very important. पाकिस्तान में सबसे बड़ा मसला क्या है, ठीक है, सिर्फ पाकिस्तानी, पूरी दुनिया में. If you do not do career counseling to the student at early age, at high school level, they would struggle. Eventually, they will get the hang of it. But the problem is they will waste so much time before they learn. So, आप लोगों को ये food of thoughts देने की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है कि if you want to be a successful person, do not spend your time just education, career. Yes, pie chart shows you. Please have some joy, have social life, have relationship, friendship, home improvement, home environment, cooking at home, cleaning at home, whatever you do, physical activity, your health, creativity, worry about your finances. This is all about the life. Okay. If you just stay within this area, people will find out. Okay. There was a job description, there was a job posting once, and it was a researcher. He posted that I want a human being, not a robot in my lab. For robot, we have AI. I want a human being who has feelings, who talk to people, who share with other people, who have some social skills, social life, some relationship, some spirituality, some kind of physical activity. Believe me, this is what the post for a job in a research lab. Okay? What it shows that as a human being, we have to act like a human being. My PhD advisor, आज से 20 साल पहले हम लोग 15-20-25 masters or PhD student थे, and he was a very good mentor. I really have a lot of respect for him. And he said it, guys, do not come to the lab at 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. and stay till 8 p.m. in your room and not engage or socialize with other people. Don't do that. If you want to be a researcher, if you want to be a successful person in your life, come at 10 p.m. a.m. I don't care. Leave at 3 p.m. But in that 5 hours, discuss ideas, talk to people, have some creative discussion. And you can do your rest of your work at home whenever you want. Okay. What it means as a human, if you have to be team member, you have to be somebody who can contribute. So be very careful about when you build your career. Again, another analogy. I try to give some analogies just to make you feel that how the way things works are not the way we think it should, or the other way around. Sometimes we think we should not, but it does. In these movies, you probably remember that they find this one letter from like 1930s, and there are some numbers, and they crunch the numbers, and they kind of like make some sense out of it. So if you want to take an example in real life, sometimes you would look at the cloud, and cloud shows some sign. People say, oh, well, it shows such and such, and people then try to say, oh, I see an animal, I see this, and they try to connect with their spirituality, and they say, oh, look, this thing is real. Honestly speaking, none of those signs are in the cloud. It's in your brain. Your brain makes that sign because your brain is a very creative organ. Okay? And then connecting it with your spirituality or your belief makes no sense. It doesn't do anything. Okay? What I'm trying to say is it is just cloud shape, and you're making something out of it. It's just your brain creativity. Okay? Don't get too much into it. The real thing is look around you. You will find the knowing. See, my whole presentation is about knowing yourself, knowing about your surrounding. If you are very well versed about all these things, you will be a successful person, regardless of which field you're from. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly go over this one. Uh, you know, a career stage, which was part of my research, not the career stage, but the way things are and how we built our throughout the life. So I do a lot of imaging. So we were studying this normal aging. So we'll take a 20-year-old till 80-year-old. We would MRI scan. We'd do some psychological testing, some physiological testing, and we would make some sense out of it. So the way it works is your brain, excuse me, your brain increases the tissue or the memory somewhere around like in mid-20s. Okay, so the cells start really like going up, the number of cells till the age of like 40s till 50s. Okay, and eventually at some stage, some people, if they don't use it, they lose it. It may start at the as early as in 40s. In some cases, it might even go till 45. Okay, which means what? If you are creative, you are doing stuff. You're not just sitting on a couch potato, and doing nothing. You're gonna retain your brain muscle, memory, and you're gonna do a lot of good stuff. Okay. Now connect that with your whole career. Exploration, early age, transition from school to work. In about this age, getting the job accepted. The opportunities, promotion, because this is where the mid-career, you are all in establishment right now. You are very young, and take it as a good starting point. Okay, this is where you're going to build. You're going to be making the most out of it. And the late career is you just consolidation. Either you just stay at one, still improve, or you decline. Okay, it's up to you which way you want to go. And eventually, at 67 decades, no matter what you do, the decline comes. This is how human brain, human life, everything works. And interestingly, this matches. I did not put that slide, but I may have a slide. I will show you toward the end of this slide, this presentation. Your brain tissue increases, and literally, it does correlate with this career path. It's amazing. Okay, what it shows. If you do the right thing, you do really challenge yourself, you will increase the brain tissue and you will make the most out of it. Okay. Aging brain is a problem. As we age, we lose brain tissue. There is no doubt in it. Okay. But where you are right now, okay, and then it shows color map, every different areas of the brain is responsible for different part of the work. But just quickly show you, this is a 23-year-old brain, that is a 70-year-old. The difference is, if you see, there is a big gap. The black gap is not a good thing. It's a liquid, what you call a CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. They occupy most of these tissue where the tissue is lost. You look the young kid or 23-year-old, all jam-packed tissue, more tissue, a lot of memory. But if you see the old, you lose tissue. In other words, you have more black area. Black means CSF in this particular picture, which means it's not good. Okay. So just to give you another perspective of it, so if I take a different view, less fluid means good stuff. You have more brain tissue versus less one, where you have more CSF. And then, some showing that how the aging affect our brain. And then, again, I'm showing you these guys just to tell you that you are at the age where you can literally build career, your health, your finances, and everything. Look at this one picture. Brain is only 2% of your body mass, okay? But it takes 20% of the body energy that we produce. This is shrinked brain of an older person. This is a young brain, probably in 20s, okay? You want to keep exactly the way it is, make it, use it. When you do that, it will be both good for your career and for your health. Last thing, I'm going to just quickly go here. So here it is. Remember I showed you that one slide when I said correlate. So it's a total brain volume with age. See how it is increasing till 40s. It stays in 40s till somewhere for 50s. But if you don't, and eventually it's going to decline. It also depends how you want to use it. With that, I'm gonna stop this presentation because I have so much slides to show. I just want to give you some food of thoughts. It's already almost close to like 45 minutes that I've been speaking. I want to hear now questions, intriguing questions. No question is not important. Please ask anything that you feel like that you want to ask. I'm going to go back to just give you this one slide just to keep you staring at it. It is scary, but it gives you one thing: how it all started. Okay, with one concept and where we are right now. Okay, same way. If things are not built in overnight, the world, the earth did not, or this whole universe did not come in existence one night. Okay, Allah created it over a period of time. Same thing, you have to build our career over the period of time. And how do we do it? Planning, planning, planning. Okay, and for planning, you need to know who you are, knowing yourself. Okay, one thing that I gave a lecture once in Larkana in 2018, and then I give it in so many other universities physically when I went there. That was in Islamabad, Lahore, even in Swat, Karachi, including the one in Larkana. It was all about two things: knowing yourself, is the starting point. And second, look, in this era with all this technology, depression is a real thing. Okay, please make sure you take care of your mental health. If you need help, please ask or acquire professional help. It is real. A lot of prophets have went through this. Okay, and prophets are special, individual who have connection, spiritual and direct connection to God or Allah, and they went through it. If they can be affected, why not we? It is real. It really affects your brain and your overall health and your career and people around you. Do not try to force yourself do things that you do not like to do. Okay, your mental health is very important. Your physical health is very important before you really spend time and energy in your career. Okay.